Warning: the following video is not only extremely entertaining and informative, but it also contains graphic clips from classic horror films. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let go of me!
What's up everybody, my name is Chad Scheifele and thank you again for dropping by to check out my channel. This video is going to be absolutely a straight up killer. And yes, the pun is absolutely intended. Welcome to my very first CONvergence episode, and you're probably thinking, what the does that mean? It's simple. I'm taking films, I'm taking toys, and I'm smashing them together into one video, all centered around a single franchise or theme. Today we're kicking things off with none other than Halloween. I've got the toys, I got the films, got a whole lot of opinions too. We're gonna break it down, the good, the bad, and the downright trash. Let's go. We're diving headfirst into the world of Halloween, the legendary horror franchise that gave us one of the most iconic slashers of all time. The boogeyman, the shape, the silent stalker, and the mask himself, Michael Myers. I've been obsessed with the Halloween franchise since I was about 10 years old. My dad's best friend's daughter was babysitting my brother and me one night, and no joke, she was the one who suggested that we watch Halloween. I guess for some reason she thought it would be a good idea and funny to traumatize a couple of kids, but I think it did the opposite. Instead of scaring the shit out of me, it set off an obsession. That night sparked my undeniable love for the franchise. I wasn't even old enough to buy the R-rated movies at the time, so I begged my parents when I was a kid to buy me the VHS tapes, and I watched them constantly. Over time, it became my favorite film franchise, though let me be clear, not all the entries were worthy to exist. I love Halloween, but don't get me wrong, there are plenty of installments that are just f***ing trash. Some of these films should have never seen the light of day, let alone the inside of a theater. The one that comes to mind first is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. It's trash, it's garbage, it f***ing sucks.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
It didn't make any sense to me back in the day, and it does not make sense to me today. In my opinion, the only real lineup goes like this: Halloween 1978, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and then of course, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. If you're sitting there going, Chad, there's so many more Halloween films, why do you only have those? Because they're the only ones worthy of this video. Anything outside of that lineup is f***ing junk.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
So let's be honest. The original 1978 mask is untouchable. It's the definitive look, it's clean, it's blank, and it's creepy as shit. What I've never understood though is, what is so hard to keep the consistency of the look of the mask throughout the films? Apparently in Halloween 2 they used the same original mask, but since the actor playing Michael had a wider face, it changed the shape of it slightly, making it look a little off. But after that, it's like every sequel went on a mission to make the mask look worse and worse. So now let me hit you with my personal ranking of the Michael Myers mask, ranked from best to absolute dumpster fire. The #1 spot goes to the undisputed best, which is the original mask from 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween. #2 goes to Halloween 2. It's the same mask, just used by a different actor. Looked slightly different, but it was still solid. The #3 spot goes to the 2018 Halloween reboot mask. Now, that movie was f***ing trash, but the mask had some grit and loyalty to the original design, so I will have to give it to them on that. Probably the only redeemable quality about that film. I have the NECA Halloween figure here, and just for the sake of showing the mask from the 2018 film, that is the mask there. So obviously they did a good job at remaining loyal to the original design. It's obviously more worn, more weathered, which makes total sense. And so, other than that, that movie was f***ing junk. The #4 spot goes to Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. The #5 spot goes to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. And then the 6th spot goes to Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. It wasn't a terrible mask, but it was okay. And the rest of the masks from the other films can go straight in the trash can. But if I had to pick the worst mask out of the entire franchise, the crown of shame goes to Halloween Resurrection. I think everybody can agree with me on that. Let me know in the comments below what mask was your favorite and why. And let's talk about Rob Zombie's 2 films. Disgraceful, junk then, junk now, junk forever. F*** those movies and f*** Rob Zombie. As for the 2018 reboot trilogy, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends, I won't even dignify those with a breakdown. David Gordon Green, you butchered a legacy. I hated your first film, George Washington, back when I saw it in film school. Fast forward all these years later, and I still hate your films. Now, let's get back to the main topic of discussion for this video. The Curse of Michael Myers has always been one of my favorite installments in the franchise. It's dark, it's gritty, it's atmospheric, and Michael feels more menacing than ever. This movie leans hard into the cult angle with the whole Thorn mythology, and while it's divisive, I personally love how grimy and sinister it gets. And how could I not mention that kill in the beginning of the film? Michael picks up the nurse and impales her skull on some random spike that's sticking out of the wall. And then he just stares at her like the classic cold, sadistic psychopath that he is. And when it comes to kills, the Curse of Michael Myers does not hold back. This film contains some of the most sinister, savage, and downright badass deaths in the entire franchise, and I love it. First up, we got that douchebag radio show jock.
Calling in, trying to channel the spirit of that pussy, Michael Myers.
Michael stabs him right in the And then there's the washing machine scene where the father gets stabbed into a breaker box and electrocuted until he foams from the mouth and his head explodes. Classic. And who could forget the bloodbath in the operating room? Michael just absolutely demolishes every doctor and nurse in sight. That scene, as a kid, traumatized me. And let's not forget Jamie's death. I know people debate whether it was respectful to her character or not, but from a horror standpoint, she gets impaled on old farm equipment and slowly ground to death. It's slow, it's cruel, and it sets the tone for how dark this film really is. This film didn't just bring the gore, it brought the style. These kills were creative, they were ruthless, and memorable. And that's one of the reasons why The Curse of Michael Myers stands out from the rest. So with that being said, I just recently discovered that there is a producer's cut of this film. I had absolutely no clue it even existed until I saw a couple people talking about it on a horror thread online. I was like, wait, what? There's a different version of this movie? I immediately jumped on eBay and I found a copy. It was pricey, but there weren't a lot of options out there and I had to have it. So I snatched up a copy and it arrived the other day and I popped that sucker in and I wanted to see what the fuss was all about. So I just finished watching the producer's cut. And yeah. This was the original version of the film that was shot back in 1994 before Dimension and Miramax took a chainsaw to it and gave us the theatrical cut that we all know today. And let's just say that I fully understand why they did that. Let's talk about real quick some of the key differences, and there's a lot of them. The producer's cut of the film is a completely different movie. The major changes come pretty quickly, like right from the start. The film opens up very differently than the theatrical version. There's a lot of flashbacks in the beginning, so right off the bat, the producer's cut hits you with the flashbacks from Halloween 5 where Michael Myers is in prison, and then somebody shows up, shoots everybody up, and then Michael Myers is taken out of prison and he escapes. I hate flashbacks in movies. I think they're a cheap way of telling stories, and usually they're lazy. The theme music is also different. The sequence of Jamie escaping the underground catacombs or whatever it is where she's being held, it's a lot slower. The pacing is bad, and it just didn't have that intensity that the theatrical version did. Also, too, the truck driver, when Jamie jumps in the truck and steals the guy's truck to escape, and in theatrical version, he breaks his neck so badly that his spinal cord sticks out of his neck. Like the bones come out, like his head's like completely twisted off almost. Loved that. And in the producer's cut, he just gets his neck broken and it's implied that he dies, and they don't have that brutal spine sticking out of the neck. In general, the whole opening sequence of the film is not slapping, and it doesn't hit like it does with the theatrical version. Another major difference that's very obvious is that Donald Pleasence has a lot more screen time in this film. The whole narrative of the movie was redone, and the direction was completely different than what we ended up with the theatrical version. So that's one positive thing about the producer's cut, is that I think Donald's performance was fully showcased in that, because they did cut a lot of his scenes in the theatrical version. So another major difference was Jamie's death. In the producer's cut, the narrative follows more of like the cult angle, which doesn't work in my opinion. It's just disgusting, but classic Michael Myers kill. Love that. Doesn't exist in the producer's cut or the original cut of the film. Lame. That. In the producer's cut, there's a lot of cult nonsense. There's a lot more confusion, and simply put, I believe there's a lot more stupidity. Another couple examples of kills that were just dumbed down were when the mother gets killed out in the backyard with the laundry hanging. Like, it's intense. She's crawling around. She can't find her way out, this and that, and then she moves one of the sheets that's hanging on the laundry cord, and then Michael's there and he kills her with the axe. I mean, that was pretty sweet. But in the producer's cut, that scene is very boring and it's flat. Another major difference is when the head husband gets electrocuted. In the producer's cut, or the original version of the film, Michael Myers just stabs him into the electrical box and then he just gets electrocuted. And then we cut to the exterior of the house with the lights going on and off, and it's really dramatic. But it's stupid, it's boring, it's flat. In the theatrical version, Michael stabs him, lifts him up, and then sticks him in the breaker box, and he gets electrocuted until he starts foaming from the mouth. And if that wasn't gross enough, he keeps getting electrocuted and his head explodes. It's f***ing awesome. Love that. But in the producer's cut, it doesn't exist. So that sucks. Another kill that was removed entirely was that epic, brutal scene in the operating room where Michael comes in there and just butchers everybody. He butchers all the nurses, he butchers all the doctors. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's f***ing gross. But that doesn't exist in the producer's cut. So the producer's cut was the original version of the movie, but after test screenings, the response was pretty brutal. Audiences called it slow, called it confusing, and not nearly violent enough, which is pretty much what I just explained to you in the previous segment. Dimension and Miramax freaked out. They ordered heavy reshoots and a full re-edit, stripping out the cult-heavy supernatural elements and pushing the tone back towards the traditional slasher horror. Honestly, I absolutely agree with that decision. The producer's cut's not tight, it's not thrilling, and it lacks the bite that defines Halloween itself. I'm glad I finally watched the producer's cut to see what the hype's all about, and it's great that I didn't know that it existed until just now. But that's where the positives end. This version was slow, it was incoherent, and it was way too tangled up in that cult nonsense. Trash. The theatrical cut, that movie is raw, it's intense, love that for me. And the producer's cut just limps across the finish line. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've seen the producer's cut, if you like it, if you don't like it. I would love to hear from you. The NECA toy is pretty sweet. Michael Myers has a lot of articulation, very posable. I will say that NECA does a great job with all their figures. Sometimes when it comes to swapping out the hands and stuff, the joints are very fragile and they can easily break. So you gotta be very careful when you're swapping out the hands and whatnot. But this figure feels good, feels sturdy, feels heavy duty. It represents and is very faithful to the look of Michael Myers from the film, The Curse. Even the details of the scarred hands look very good. It comes with different hands you can swap out to hold different weapons or have different poses. It comes with an alternative mask head, which has the green ooze coming out of it, which, if you remember from the film, when Paul Rudd beats the shit out of him with the pipe, and it has that like quick cutting of like the flashing, and there's ooze coming out of his eyes, and that is pretty wild looking. That they had that version, that mask that he can wear, swap out his head for that, which is pretty cool. And then it comes with a mask that looks like it's just on the ground. So in the film, when Tommy Doyle escapes with everybody and Michael's gone, his mask is on the ground. It also comes with a lot of weapons, crowbars, machetes, an axe, the syringe cocktail that Paul Rudd, aka Tommy Doyle, puts together and sticks it in Michael's neck. Pumpkin with candles in it, and then for sale sign, sold sign of the Michael Myers yard sign.
Enough of this Michael Myers bullshit!
And a couple other cool accessories. I also picked up the NECA 2018 Halloween figure, and so I'm excited to unbox this one as well. Simply put, this figure is cool. I like it. Feels good in my hand. It's solid. It has a lot of articulation, so I can have many options when it comes to posing. I like the selection of the hands, so he can accommodate different kinds of weapons. I do like how it comes with an alternative head. I do like what NECA does with their figures because they give you a lot of options for posability. So if you get tired of the same pose or the same weapon or the same head, switch it up. Plain and simple. Love that. I like this figure. I think it's great. I'm very happy to add it to my collection. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which films are your favorite? Which ones do you hate the most? Tell me about what mask you like the most. Which mask do you like the least? If you enjoyed this video and enjoy the content that you see on this channel, please click that subscribe button, click that like button. That's all I got for you today, guys. I will catch you in the next video. See ya.